It's a pleasure to have you here on the AM show. Let's get into details of the AM news. The Asokwa Circuit Court 1 in Kumasi has sentenced 4 carjackers to 120 years imprisonment, each convict serving 30 years in prison. Before the arrest in 2022, they went on robbery at gunpoint and snatched a car at Chirikrom in the Ashanti region. Joseph Obeng was at court and filed this report.
22-year-old Jeffrey Jomo, aka Jeff, Clifford Opoku, aka Spider, 28 years, Prince Opuni, and Kwabena Chebafo were convicted for a series of robbery incidents in the Kumasi metropolis. According to the police prosecutor, ASP Stephen Ofori, the convicts have been engaged in a series of crimes before the arrest. They first appeared before court in February 2023 and were charged with conspiracy to commit robbery contrary to the law. The court, presided over by His Worship Frederick Obitre, convicted all 4 on 3 robbery cases and sentenced them. The police prosecutor says this should serve as a deterrent to people who have plans to commit such robbery.
And they have committed series of robberies within the Kumasi metropolis. Now, one of the key persons who has also been convicted, Kwabena Chebafo, now also a cotton car no one crime. They were put before this court since February 2023. Now, through successful prosecution, and the judgment has been delivered, as you all have seen. Chebafo and Clifford, on 3 robberies, the court convicted all of them. As I say, almost about 120 years. They also also 3 robberies now, also serve 105 years. If you say we to serve as a deterrent to people who have planned to commit such robberies, to know that after all, crime does not pay.
Mr. Kwabena, whose car was snatched at gunpoint, expressed satisfaction with the sentencing. I am grateful for this ruling. Ghana police has done so well. Most people say they are corrupt, but I believe they aren't. Joseph Obeng's report for Joy News.
The Ghana Institution of Engineering has called on political parties to prioritize key national issues in their manifestos as the country approaches the next general elections. The institution emphasizes the need for comprehensive plans on sustainable energy, the management of public transportation, and the regulation of artisanal and small-scale mining. The following report has more.
President of the institution, Engineer Kwabena Bimpong, indicated that parties must, among others, prioritize empowering district assemblies to enforce zoning regulations and setting up a mineral exploration fund to support sustainable artisanal and small-scale mining.
There should be legislation reinforcement to provide for a formula for full fund allocation to MMDAs, and there should be legislation reinforcement for the automatic adjustment of the road fund levy. Now I move on to artisanal and small-scale mining. A mineral exploration fund should be set up as a financing framework to provide the much-needed capital for mineral exploration projects.
The head of NDC's Environment Committee, Professor Martin Otin Abebiu, charged the engineers to hold the various governments to account and prevent the awarding of most government contracts to just one contractor, as has happened in the past.
I know you were very sure that there was not going to be any possibility of any government putting up 111 hospitals at a time, and whether it was useful. One would have expected the engineers to perhaps speak, but no word came from you. I'm aware, so 2001, the deputy president made a comment, and I'm aware that if you were very active, we shouldn't engage one engineer in all national
Yao Boabeng Asamoah of the Movement for Change said most of the Ghana Institution of Engineering's proposals fall in line with his party's policies on engineering. He, however, noted that the proposals should have come earlier, as most parties have already drafted their manifestos.
And though I'm proud to say that most of the things being touched on here have been touched on by the Great Transformational Plan. You have a ministry dedicated to infrastructure. Out of 40 ministries, we plan to set up a independent sewerage authority. We also have an intention to develop Galamsey away from the attack approach in an inclusive corporate manner.
The CPP and other speakers hailed the initiative by the Ghana Institution of Engineering. As Ghanaians head to the polls, the engineering community will be closely watching to see which party's vision aligns best with their aspirations for a modern and technologically advanced Ghana.
The Audit Service says the inauguration of 19 new offices in the Central Region will significantly strengthen its independence and enhance its efforts to drive accountability and development. Director General of the service, Johnson Ekuamwa Asiedu, highlighted that nationwide, the service currently owns only 30% of the offices it operates from, with the majority being either private apartments or rented spaces. He made these remarks during the inauguration ceremony of the new Audit Service offices in Cape Coast.
The Audit Service is tasked with auditing the public accounts of Ghana and all public offices, including courts, central and local government administrations, universities, and any public institutions, among other roles. This also extends to auditing accounts of statutory corporations and organizations as Parliament may prescribe. The service has over the years faced many challenges, the very prominent one being the offices they work from. At the inauguration of 19 new offices, the Director General of the Audit Service, Johnson Ekuamwa Asiedu, says the new offices will bode well for the service.
For me and the staff of the service, we are witnessing a dream that has come true. It may be surprising, but we own only about 30% of our offices across the country. Most of these offices are owned by the assemblies that we audit, and a few are private properties that we have rented. At Kifu Prasu, for example, we were accommodated by the post office. Therefore, these 19 new offices could not have come at a better time. Our independence as an institution will be greatly enhanced as a result. We thank the German government and KFW for providing funding for these 19 projects.
Central Regional Minister Justina Marigold-Hassan expressed her excitement about the strides that have been made to get the offices ready.
It is with great pride and joy that I now declare the Audit Service Central Regional Office Complex officially commissioned. Today, it is Cape Coast's turn to host the unveiling of yet another architectural gem. This regional office complex will undoubtedly serve as a beacon of the audit service's enduring commitment to upholding the principles of transparency, accountability, and good governance.
Head of Cooperation at the German Embassy, Franziska Jardens, assured the commitment and support of the German government to the democratic ideals of Ghana.
These offices, spread across 10 different regions, will enable the Audit Service to fulfill its mandate more effectively and to follow up on the implementation of audit recommendations in a timely manner. This is a significant step forward, as the Audit Service is often located at the institution it is meant to audit at district level, creating very often a conflict of interests. Additionally, the overcrowded offices have not provided a conducive working environment, and the safe storage of sensitive files has been also very challenging. The Audit Service is already auditing all 261 MMDAs, decentralized directorates, and state-owned enterprises, and has thus made a substantial contribution to improving accountability for public financial resources.
GhIE Service says it is excited at the progress being made at securing offices for the service across the country. Abdallah Osman's reports read to you.
At the estuary of River Ankobra have been sharing their experiences of how persistent pollution by the river, by Galamsey, continues to affect their lives. They say that direct mining on the river and its tributaries has led to loss of jobs for the fishermen, reduced access to quality water and tourism opportunities for the legendary Ankobra town. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko went back to the community to gauge the situation and has filed this report.
Excuse me.
Sebi. Makana 3 times.
Ankobra River, situated in the western region of Ghana, flows through the Dwaboso and Nzema East districts. Direct mining on the river in many of the communities along its path has reduced its integrity. The Ankobra is contaminated. The 2023 testing of samples from various catch points revealed high levels of arsenic, chromium, cadmium, lead, and other harmful metals from Galamsey.
I know of MMDCs and MPs in some communities who have employed people to do Galamsey for them. Even some chiefs in some communities do Galamsey.
At the estuary, where it joins the sea at Axim, residents of Ankobra town are bearing the brunt of the pollution.
This is what remains of a once beautiful, clean estuary where the Ankobra joins the sea. It is now a milky, polluted river joining the sea here. And it is denying a lot of residents here jobs, tourism, and livelihoods. We are here to find out more.
Assembly member for the area, Patrick Isua, confirms the illegal mining operations in and around the Ankobra are eroding the economic gains of the community.
Due to the Galamsey activities, we have lost 3 things. One is tourism. The second one is the source of water. And the third one is jobs. Why am I saying so? Because it has affected us economically. Yes, so we are suffering. We are suffering because of the Galamsey activity.
The fishermen and the women who sell their catch are out of jobs.
Previously, we used to catch some fishes here at the estuary, but with the onset of the Galamsey, all of them are gone. We used to fish August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, but now we can only fish for 2 months and we are running at a loss.
Houses at the estuary have flooded recently. Former assembly member for Ankobra town, Mr. Morke, believes the silting of the river by Galamsey is to blame.
Now the Galamsey that they are doing is very closer to the Ankobra River. So that's why it's causing the flood in the community, because the sand that they dig and the river that they heap over there flows into the Ankobra River, and now the river is being wide. So the water that comes from the top to this place is more than previous one that we have been seeing. So the Galamsey is directly, that's what is giving us problem in this community.
The constant pollution of the Ankobra River by Galamsey is a violation of the right to clean and potable water. Until government finds a solution to this, people's lives will be affected. From the estuary, Ankobra town, reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaridonko.
Away from that, the latest mining districts development scorecard issued by the Center for Democratic Development is reporting that district assemblies and traditional authorities received 8 million cedis less mineral royalty revenue in 2023, a situation which is denying communities of the needed funds. In partnership with the Ford Foundation, a report committed into the trend reveals that there is a lack of transparency on revenue collection of mineral resources and its utilization, as CDD says more work ought to be done to promote transparency. There's more in this report.
The Mining District Development Scorecard is a pioneering document attempting for the very first time to assess the benefits indigents derive from mineral resources mined from their local communities. At an event to outdoor the findings in Accra, the Center for Democratic Development, CDD Ghana, indicated that the report demonstrates its strong attachment to the principles of accountability.
And for the first time, we have a comprehensive scorecard that evaluates governance dimensions, fiscal transparency, local government effectiveness, citizen participation, and the efficiency of mineral royalty utilization.
Details from a breakdown of the report reveals that traditional authorities and district assemblies received 8 million cedis less of mineral resources due them in 2023 alone.
I also asking the same questions, and that's why you see the agitations that we see in these communities, because there's a perception that mining has not brought us anything good. And as you can attest yourself, once you go into these communities, you'll see the fact that there's almost like a local resource case. And the story is always told about Obuasi and Johannesburg. What is it that Johannesburg is doing well that we are not doing, that we need to improve?
Meanwhile, some chiefs from mining communities who were present at the event urged government to allocate more resources to traditional authorities in mining communities in order to aid development within the areas.
You see, those of us in mining areas, we get just a peanut. So what comes to the mining areas is not sufficient for development.
If you take Awaso, for example, Bauxite started so many years ago. If you go to Awaso, you cry. So at least we need a lot of money so that the Awaso can be improved and the other communities too.
In the meantime, the Office of the Administration of Stool Lands is urging mining companies to also fulfill their statutory obligations by paying mineral royalties on time in order to aid development within mining communities.
We want them to be good citizens and then pay these royalties, as laid down by law through GRA and all that, because not all of them are paid on the due date. So we want all of them to be up and doing.
Blaise Ogan's report for Joy News, Accra.
From CDD, let's go to Free Senior High School Secretariat, and they're saying they remain committed to expanding science, technology, engineering and mathematics education through practical application at the secondary level of education. Ashanti Regional Coordinator for the program, Owusu Brobe, says the government is instituting measures to ensure the creativity and innovative skills of the students are harnessed for national development. There's more in this report.
Mr. Owusu Brobe was speaking at the zonal challenge of the STEM Innovation National Competition that allows students to develop projects aimed at providing solutions to societal challenges. Students from senior high and technical schools across 3 regions displayed their various developed prototypes. These girls from the TI Amedia Girls SHS Asokore developed an aquaponics system that employs aquaculture and hydroponic technologies to solve farming challenges.
Rich in ammonia. The ammonia can be absorbed by the plants directly, so it has to be converted to nutrients. This nutrient is called nitrates, and the conversion is done by a bacteria called nitrosomonas. The nitrate is also converted into a form of plant nutrients known as nitrites by another bacteria called nitrobacter. Our water, which is now rich in nutrients, is pumped onto the grow beds with the help of the pumps for absorption by the plant roots for photosynthesis to occur. This process filters the water before it's returned back into the water tank for the process to begin all over again.
30 schools from the Ashanti, Western North and Bono East regions are participating in Zone 1 of the Free Senior High School STEM Innovation Challenge. STEM Innovation provides students a platform to demonstrate STEM projects addressing societal challenges spanning digital technology, environmental sustainability, food sovereignty and sustainable energy. Also, Brobe is the Ashanti Regional Coordinator of the Free SHS program.
Like the food sovereignty, instead of the normal farming that we used to do, like the burn and whatever method you weed, you burn and cultivate. Now that we are in today's technological world, the students have come out with something like a backyard garden where you can sit at the comfort of your home and then use a very simple method to cultivate or plant whatever that you need to do.
Mr. Brobe explained the program prioritizes future-focused learning, which doesn't solely rely on theoretical approaches.
The students should be equipped with this knowledge so that they can fit well into society. Because without the STEM, like what we used to, the generalized, the chew-poor aspect is moving away from the system. So we are helping the student to inculcate this technological ideas in them, so that whatever you learn, the theoretical aspect, you should be able to use your hand to do something for the benefit of society and to make sure the Ghana will not solely depend on the Western world.
5 schools from the zone are expected to battle other schools from 7 other zones in the grand finale of the competition. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweko.
To our last story, Speaker of Parliament Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin has expressed worry over the continuous division in the country on ethnic lines, which he said is having a negative impact on the development of the country. He noted that despite efforts made to build a nation, it has been unsuccessful. And as a result, the country is still being operated along ethnic and tribal groups. He called on Ghanaians to move beyond that in order to build a nation where merit is the only stake to use in assessing value. He made a statement at Wa, where he was enskinned as the chief of Dakagli. Joy News Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
You may have mistaken it for the annual Dumba Festival, celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Wala State. It is the enskinment of the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, as the chief of Dakagale.
Dakagale, since the days of yore, has been one place that the Wala traditional area depends for everything, including water.
Dakagale is a sacred place revered by the people of the Wala enclave that lies between the Wafadama Animal Market and Hotel du Pont. Jimpena Kadir Ibrahim further explains the importance of the spiritual Wala Totem Crocodile Pond that has never run out of water.
In Dakagale resides crocodiles sacred to the earth god, and that's the source of the fiber of our society. And you know, in Africa we often refer to water as life. So Dakagale is a pond that knows no dryness. I mean, it has always been able to withstand all manner of harsh weather conditions. There can be absence of rain for whatever period, but Dakagale would always be there as that dependable source of water. And so when His Majesty and his earth priests, the Tendamba for that matter, call on the gods of Dakagale for rains and for abundance of harvest and whatever, we normally get through.
The choreographed spectacle of royal honor and coronation therefore felt apt for a rich life spanning over 40 years of distinctive and dedicated public service, crowning it 42 months ago to his present position as Ghana's number 3 most powerful person. Paramount Chief of the Lora Traditional Area, Napole Cabo III, who chaired the colorful ceremony, poured effusive commendations for the celebrant.
The indomitable Speaker of our Parliament has exhibited exemplary leadership, commitment and dedication in his entire public service career, and contributed to the development of our region and Ghana as a whole. He therefore meets all criteria and deserves the honor which you are about to bestow on him, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
The responsibility of enrobing the speaker while the multicolored 4 pounds weight smoke rested on the Foko clan, and it was done meticulously and with dexterity by Alhaji Yakubu Foroko. It drew lots of cheers and excitement from the slew of people that included paramount chiefs, parliamentarians, imams, former Black Stars players, and family members of the newly enslaved Dakarna from his home community at Dagasombo. Addressing the gathering, Dakarna Alban Somana Kinsport Babuin was thanking the overlord of the Walla state, now for the city people of the fourth, for an Anadan Kim, which he sees rather as a responsibility, call on the people to join hands to work to build a nation.
We have not yet succeeded in building a nation. We are still operating along ethnic, tribal groups. But we need to go beyond that to build a nation where merit is the only stake you use in assessing what is value.
He assured the people of working to make a difference in their lives.
Coming up next is Business Update. In our first business story, MTN Momo has rehashed its commitment to tighten safety procedures and deepen education on mobile money fraud to improve trust among customers. Speaking at the Momo at 15 FinTech Stakeholders Forum, Chief Executive of Mobile Money Limited, Shaibu Haruna, explained that his outfit will continue to deepen education as part of efforts to reduce mobile money fraud. Here's more.
Is actually dedicated to our stakeholders in the ecosystem to discuss the subjects about trust and also how we use emerging technology to transform and deliver service to our customers. The subject matter of trust is a very important one from two legs. One is around the customer trust issues, and it is our resolve that we enhance the trust equity of our customers for service by maintaining the integrity and reliability, as a matter of fact, of the service, and also ensure that when there is a friction, customers have a recourse mechanism in terms of restoring them of their value. So it is our commitment, and based on the discussions that have happened today, I think the common theme that we are carrying across is to work collaboratively as industry to find better recourse mechanism to enhance the experience of our customers. And we are committed in investing in that journey.
In other news, total value of loans granted by banks and savings and loans for the second quarter, with support from the collateral registry, increased significantly to hit almost 11 billion Ghana cedis. This was captured in the collateral registry report issued by the Bank of Ghana. George Wiafe has more.
Data from the Bank of Ghana showed that loans granted by these financial institutions based on assets registered with the collateral registry went up by more than 80%. The Bank of Ghana puts the amount at almost 11 billion Ghana cedis for the second quarter of this year, compared to 5.9 billion Ghana cedis in the same period for last year. Out of this amount, 9.1 billion Ghana cedis came from commercial banks, compared to 4.9 billion Ghana cedis in the same period in 2023. On the other hand, special deposit-taking institutions like savings and loans companies gave out 1.7 billion Ghana cedis compared to the 971 million Ghana cedis granted in the same period for last year. Another interesting development that emerged from this report is that a lot more persons took loans from banks using their assets registered with the collateral registry, were actually paying back their loans back on time. This resulted in more than 36,000 discharges. This represents 200% jump in terms of what was recorded in the same period for last year. Savings and loans companies recorded the highest discharges of 29,000. On the other hand, the number of assets registered with the collateral registry went up by more than 50% compared to the same period for last year. Private enterprises constituted the largest recipients of secured loans with a percentage share of 60%, followed by individuals with 15%.
And that ends it for business updates and the whole AM News Bulletin on the AM show. Let's get ready for the news review. Shamima Muslim from the NDC Communications team and Ellen Amadako from NPP Communications team are joining us to review the newspapers. Stay with us.